Hey guys, it's Megan with Vigilante Vibes, and today I am coming to you with another character breakdown, and again, it will pertain to the Fantastic Four First Steps, and today it is my favorite member of Marvel's First Family, Johnny Storm, aka Human Torch, aka the character who's played by Joseph Quinn in the upcoming movie. So, let's just dive in. Johnny Storm was brought to life by writer Stan Lee and artist Jack Kirby as a modern take on the original Human Torch, an android character created by Carl Burgos back in 1939 for Timely Comics. He made his debut in the Fantastic Four #1, as all the other characters did, and that's in the Fantastic Four, which came out in November 1961 as one of the founding members of the superhero team. Teenager Johnny Storm and his older sister Sue moved in with their aunt after their mom died in a car crash and their dad ended up in jail for manslaughter. Eventually, they crossed paths with a genius scientist, Reed Richards, and joined him on a secret space mission to test out one of his theories. During the flight, the group, Johnny, Sue, Reed, and their pilot, Ben Grimm — I also have a breakdown of Ben Grimm as a character, so just check out my channel for that — got hit by cosmic rays and crash landed back on Earth. After the crash, Johnny realized that he was heating up fast, like really, really fast. And to his shock, he burst into flames, which would shock anyone. And if it doesn't shock you, you might be dead inside. But thanks to the cosmic rays, the fire did not hurt him. Instead, he can control it and use it in all sorts of ways. The others had powers too, and together they formed the superhero team known as the Fantastic Four. Johnny took on the name the Human Torch, paying tribute to the World War II era hero who originally had the title. Johnny Storm can light up his whole body in flames, literally turning into a human torch, and has crazy control over the fire he creates. He doesn't get burned by the heat himself, and he can crank it up or dial it back down depending on the situation. He can even turn off the flames on certain parts of his body, like his hands or his face, so he can safely touch people or handle things without setting them on fire. When he pushes his powers to the max, he can hit a super destructive nova level of heat. He can also throw or shoot fire in all kinds of ways: quick bursts, steady streams, wide waves, even flamey ropes. On top of that, he can fly by using his flames to lift himself and stay airborne. All of this takes focus, though. If he gets knocked out, the flames vanish. And like any fire, he needs air to keep it going, so water or lack of oxygen can shut him down pretty quick. Johnny Storm's confident, loud, and good-looking nature has drawn people to him since his teen years, especially the ladies. But no bond in his life is stronger than the one he has with his sister, Sue. She basically raised him after his parents were out of the picture, and while they had their share of ups and downs, they'd do anything for each other, even risk their lives. His best friend by far is Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. The two bicker like kids and constantly mess with each other, but beneath all the teasing, they're basically brothers. They know each other inside and out. Reed Richards also plays a brotherly role in Johnny's life, though their connection isn't quite as tight as Johnny's bond with Ben. Ben is the brother, and Reed Richards is just the brother-in-law, so it sticks very well. Very much to that kind of dynamic. When it comes to romance, Johnny's had more than a few girlfriends, but only two really stood out as true companions: Crystal of the Inhumans and Elijah the Skrull. He's been through a lot with both, and over time, the romantic sparks turned into real friendship and mutual respect. As for guy friends, Spider-Man ranks near the top. They're close in age, share the same kind of bold energy, and offbeat humor. Johnny gets along with most of Earth's superheroes, but many tend to keep a bit of a distance, not just because of his fire powers, but also because of his very big personality. The Fantastic Four has made a lot of enemies over the years, but none bigger than Dr. Doom. Doom mainly hates Reed Richards, but since Johnny is a part of Reed's inner circle, he gets caught in the crossfire very often. That said, Doom rarely takes Johnny seriously as a real threat. Johnny, on the other hand, does not trust Doom for a second and never hesitates to bring the heat whenever the Latvian ruler makes a move. Unlike some other superheroes, the Human Torch doesn't have a long list of personal arch enemies. He's had some solo run-ins with villains like the Trapster, the Wizard, and Hydra Man, but nothing super long-term. And even though Johnny once helped Namor the Submariner get his memory back after a case of amnesia, Namor still isn't a fan. Being part of the Fantastic Four and the whole fire versus water thing pretty much guarantees they'll always be at odds. While still in high school, Johnny Storm started to really get into being a part of the Fantastic Four. When he wasn't out saving the world, he spent his time fixing up cars and hanging out with his girlfriend, Dory Evans. Early on, he helped restore Namor, the submariner's memory, by tossing him into the ocean, and also had a run-in with the young Spider-Man. Around the same time, tragedy struck when Johnny's dad gave his life to protect him and Sue. Johnny played a huge role when Galactus first showed up to devour Earth. With help from the Watcher, he snuck aboard Galactus' ship and brought back the ultimate nullifier, the only weapon that could stop the cosmic giant. After finishing high school and starting college, Johnny fell hard for Crystal of the Inhumans. She even took Sue's place on the team for a bit, but things didn't work out between them thanks to the constant drama between their families and her obligations to the Inhumans. Later, Johnny dated Frankie Ray, who overcame her fear of fire and became a herald of Galactus herself. After returning to Earth from the big cosmic battle known as the Secret War, you may have heard of it, Johnny started dating Alicia Masters. That Alicia Masters, Ben Grimm's Alicia Masters, who turned out to actually be a Skrull named Lyja pretending to be her. He eventually married Lyja, not knowing the truth. The heartbreak came at a time when he was already struggling emotionally, especially after a young fan who idolized him died while trying to imitate his powers, which feels like such a current problem. I feel like kids today do dumb stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. Once the truth about Lyja came out, Johnny ended things and tried to return to college. Later, an older version of Reed and Sue's son Franklin showed up from the future and recruited him into a new team called the Fantastic Force. Not long after, he and the other heroes lived alternate lives on Counter-Earth for a year. When he returned, Johnny explored a bunch of new paths, acting, firefighting, even managing the Fantastic Four's finances. While still being the Human Torch, though public opinion about him swung wildly. At one point, he and Sue swapped powers to save the planet. He also briefly became a herald of Galactus, gaining the power cosmic. During the superhero Civil War, Johnny started out supporting the Superhuman Registration Act, but later joined Sue and Captain America's secret Avengers to fight against it. After the dust settled, Johnny and Ben welcomed Black Panther and Storm into the team while Reed and Sue stepped away. He also patched things up with Lyja, and they ended in good terms. Later, during a big crisis in the Negative Zone, Johnny was thought to be dead, and the team replaced him with Spider-Man. But he survived and came back stronger and more mature. He joined the Avengers Unity Squad during another breakup of the Fantastic Four, inherited Reed and Sue's fortune, and had flings with both Rogue and Medusa. Eventually, he got caught up in Dr. Doom's attempt to become a god on Battleworld. When Battleworld fell and Doom was defeated by Reed, Johnny returned to a revived Earth alongside Ben, but without Sue, Reed, and their kids. Believing they were gone, he and Ben traveled across different universes using Reed's multi-sect device. Eventually, they reunited with the whole team, brought the Fantastic Four back together for a fresh new chapter. So, that is a brief breakdown of who Johnny Storm is as a character. He is a loud, confident, cocky little thing, and I love it so, so much. I'm very excited to see how Joseph Quinn does it. From what I've seen so far, I really dig what he's doing. I liked Chris Evans' portrayal of him, but I felt like he was trying too hard to be too loud as Johnny, and not really, he didn't put enough focus on the heroing superpower part. But not like I could do better, so. But I still liked him as Johnny Storm. I'm just, whatever. So, like always, I do have some comic books that I think you should check out so you can get to know The Human Torch, Johnny Storm, a little better since we're going to be seeing a whole lot of him coming July. Starting off, Strange Tales 101 to 133. FF number 232. It's a detective story featuring the Human Torch. It's a lot of fun and not something you'd typically relate with Johnny, but whatever. Spider-Man Human Torch. Human Torch Volume 1. Human Torch Volume 2. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and the Human Torch. Fantastic Four 60 through 66. So, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of Johnny Storm. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts. And if I missed any comics that you think we should check out to get to know him, please let me know. I won't take offense. I'm not an expert. I just know what I like. So, with that being said, have a marvelous night.